is up? What is up? What is up, family? What is going on? Welcome to today's New York session with your boy Abel. Super excited to be here with every single one of y'all this morning. So let's go ahead and see what the heck that has been happening, guys. We did actually just get initial jobless claims that actually just came out. Initial jobless claims actually came out much higher than expected. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, you got me ready to freestyle too, Tony. Right, but how are you guys feeling, man? Good morning to you all. Right, we're doing 2-a-days. Right, we're at a point right now, family, where we're doing 2-a-days. Right, 2 live streams a day. Right, to really just give y'all as much value as possible leading up into the launch of the Prophet Society community. All right, so super excited to be here with y'all. But I hope you guys are ready for the next couple weeks, the next few weeks, to get 2-a-days, right? To get access to these live streams 2 times a day, at least every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday at the minimum. Right, Monday through Friday we'll be live during New York session, but Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday we're live New York and Asian session. All right, we're doing them 2-a-days, baby. All right, just trying to provide you guys with as much value as possible, family. But let's go ahead and see again what the market is doing, how the market is reacting. Let me go ahead and just turn down. Go ahead and just turn down this music a little tad bit. Let me go ahead and turn this down a little bit. Perfect, guys. All right, go ahead and drop some threes in the chat if you guys can hear my voice loud and clear. All right, go ahead and drop some threes in the chat if you guys can hear my voice loud and clear. Let's get it. Yes. Okay, I see the threes in the chat. What's going on, family? All right, let's see what we got in the building. We got Trinidad and Tobago. What's up? Colombo, Sri Lanka in the building. Dallas, what is going on? Alabama, South Africa, Germany, Dallas, Texas. We got Muskegon. My guy Austin, what's going on, bro? Good to see you in the chat. We got Trinidad and Tobago in the building as well. Charleston, what's up? Stand up. Appreciate y'all. All right, but again, guys, let's go ahead and really just break down what we could possibly expect going into today, right? So we did actually just get this initial jobless claims release, which is pretty much just showing us, guys, that there was actually, more people that actually just filed for unemployment for the first time. And again, this is something that we've been talking about, guys, for a while now. How jobs reports, jobs numbers, unemployment rates, things like that, guys, are lagging indicators, right? So we've been talking about this for a while now. How I told y'all that there's going to be an uptick, right, in unemployment claims, right? There's going to be an uptick in initial jobless claims, right, moving forward because of everything that we've been dealing with, right? So I do think, guys, we will actually see this thing, right, start to really rebound once again and really start to make its way higher, right? Because as long as we're on the path that we're currently on, right, with these monetary policies that are being implemented, it's going to affect, guys, not just consumers, but it's also going to affect businesses, corporations, right? And as these corporations and these businesses, guys, start to see their profit margins, get smaller and smaller, tighter and tighter, right? They're going to have to figure out ways to, offset that, right? So they'll be able to cut certain things like marketing costs, advertising, but then eventually it's going to lead into, actually laying people off, right? So this is something that we've been talking about. And I do believe, guys, we will start to see this thing absolutely go higher and higher, right? In my opinion, right? And the only thing about it is that does suck, right? Because that means that people are losing their jobs. But it's what's to be expected because of the current market conditions that we're currently in, right? So very interesting to see that actually come out. Great thing is the actual dollar reacted bearish off of this information, right? We actually seen a little sell-off at the moment that this release actually came out, and that's very interesting to see, right? But what can we actually expect moving forward now, right? What can we expect the dollar to actually do going into today? Well, I still think, guys, that there is a chance for the market to make its way down to around this 108 level, right? I still think there's a good chance, a good opportunity for that to happen, right? So what we're seeing now, guys, we're current prices. Yeah, we've seen the market overall give us this lower low. Right now, we're just in the middle of this lower high, right? And I think there is still a chance for this market, guys, to absolutely go ahead and roll over in terms of the dollar itself, right? So I'm thinking that the dollar could potentially, go ahead and continue to lose some strength right now, right? All the way until around that 108, 109 level, right? So that's just my bias. That's what I think could happen. I could be completely wrong, and if I am wrong, it is what it is, right? But that's what I'm leaning towards, right? I think we could actually see the market realistically go ahead and roll over, right? So with that said, now, where and how can we actually take advantage of these markets if that's the case? Well, we're not going to actually trade the dollar index, right? We just use it as a reference. But let's go ahead and actually look at, say, things like Euro USD, right? Because we can absolutely trade Euro USD, right? And Euro USD, guys, typically does the exact opposite of what the dollar is doing, right? So if we're expecting the dollar to potentially drop in value, then we should expect Euro USD to raise value, right? Or go higher in value, right? I would love to see Euro USD, guys, make its way all the way back up to this 1.01 level, right? That's been my bias. We spoke about this last night as well, right, on last night's Asian stream. And that's really what I'm leaning towards, right? That's what I really would like to see, happen, right? That's what I'd like to see occur. But so we have our blueprint, right? I want to see price go higher. Now we just have to wait for the right opportunity to get involved, right? How can we actually go ahead and get involved in something like this? Well, we have to start to identify levels of structure, right, and start to read price action around key levels of structure. Okay, so this level right here, guys, that we're currently at right now is actually a very interesting level. This has been, being respected as structure numerous times in the past. Obviously, because of the news release that we just had, initial jobless claims, the euro actually did end up gaining some strength off of that initial release. Now, I would have been a lot more excited if this strength would have followed through enough to actually give us some type of a change of character or a break of structure, something like that, right? But we didn't see that just yet, guys. So overall, right, I do think that I'm still looking for the opportunity to go higher, but I'm being also very conservative right now as well in terms of how I want to actually take this approach. Now, if I'm being honest with y'all, right, I'm actually in a position here on Euro USD. Right, it's something that we spoke about last night, right, on last night's call. I told you guys I'm going to look for some buys, right, and I actually do have a pretty decent entry right now, but it's a matter of seeing if it's actually going to hold, right? So my entry is at 0.98596, 0.98596, so my entry is literally all the way down at these lows, all right, like literally down here at these lows, right? So let's see now if we can hold, right? Let's see if we can actually go ahead and hold and maintain structure and go ahead and start pushing higher right now, right? I am in profit a little bit, but overall, guys, again, this is something that we talked about last night. So if you guys were on last night's stream, you guys could have definitely been keeping your eyes on these levels down here around this 0.9. I was initially looking at that 0.988 level, and I actually did end up taking a buy on that as well. But I did end up taking a smaller loss on that position at 0.988. But as the market ended up continuing to drop, I was able to go ahead and catch another re-entry on that, right? So that's pretty much what happened. I did take a small loss earlier, right, about an hour ago trying to buy, but, it is what it is, right? But now we're back in it. Now we are seeing this thing go. So very interesting, guys, right? Now, how can we get you guys involved, if anything, right? What can we do next now? Well, we did get, again, a nice strong change of character, nice strong break of structure, right? After, market was getting very, very choppy. Right now, it's just a matter of looking to get an entry, right? So where can we actually look for entry from? Well, I'm going to go ahead and highlight this level, guys. I am on the 1 minute time frame, by the way. All right, I am on the 1 minute time frame, by the way, right? So we are definitely on the smallest time frame that I like to go to. right? But what I would like to see, guys, is if we're able to come back into the 0.986 level right here, which again is really not that far, right? It's literally less than 10 pips away, right? But I think, from that area, we could really start to find, the demand for the euro potentially pick back up, right? So that's something you could keep your eyes on. Low risk on these opportunities, guys. Low risk. Don't over leverage. Don't go crazy, right? I'm only risking 1% on this position, right? Only 1% on my personal entry that I have down here at these lows. Okay, so I'm not risking nothing crazy, right? Only 1%, to see what the market ends up doing. And the reason why I'm doing this is just because, for one, I want to practice proper risk management, but for two, guys, there's just so much, uh, in my opinion, at least for me, how I approach it. There's a lot of confusion right now in terms of sentiment overall as a whole, right? Sentiment. What is the sentiment like for these markets, right? Because the sentiment and the thought process behind data is what really controls these markets, right? The thought process behind monetary policies, it's what really is controlling and dictating overall order flow of these markets, right? So right now, we just have to really be mindful that there is a lot of conflicting data that is actually out there in the space right now that can cause these markets, guys, to be a lot more um, harder to read, right, than normal. Okay, so very interesting for sure. Right, we're gonna see what happened here. See what we can actually go ahead and get. See if this entry that I have down here can hold. But also we could see if we could possibly even get another attempt for you guys to get in if you guys not in just yet. Right, so that's gonna be my focus on going into today, guys. Again, I do just full transparency. I did take a loss earlier, right, on Euro USD, um, but I am in another re-entry right here around the 0.98596 level. Right, so stop loss is already technically at break even, so I cannot lose on this position. Right, so I'm risk free on this initial entry. Right, so now it's just a matter of seeing if we can go ahead and follow through to the upside. Right, I think there's a good chance for us to follow through, so that's what I'm gonna be riding out, and I'm holding, and we'll see what happens with that, guys. But again, I am risk free, so I can't take a loss on this. Right, I already initially did take a loss on it, but was able to fight a re-entry, and now we just gotta see how this thing plays out. Right, worst comes to worst, it comes all the way back down, and I get stopped out at break even, and it is what it is. Right, it's not the end of the world, and we'll just go ahead and reanalyze the markets and see what happens. Now, for anybody that is looking for specific entries, if you are going to be looking for something around these levels, guys, which again could be very interesting. Right, again, low risk. Right, low risk. Stop loss below the lows over here, right? Because if we end up running this level, if we run this level, then I think there's a good chance we're probably just going to go ahead and continue going to the downside here for the euro. All right, so overall, interesting levels to play off of, interesting opportunities that we have here. We just got to see what the market ends up actually giving us, right? But again, if you do look for the buy here, all right, stops below the lows, right? It's going to be literally less than a 10 pip stop, right? Maybe a 10 pip stop if that, right? To then go ahead and see if we can go ahead and catch a nice rebound to the upside, right? Because my ultimate goal here, guys, for Euro USD, or at least where I would like to target for this, personally speaking, right? I don't want to just target back up to there, but I think there's a good chance for us to even go ahead and target back up to these highs, right? Like I think, right? I could be wrong, but I think there's a good chance for us to actually go ahead and make our way all the way back up to the 1.00 level, right? So that's pretty much what I'm playing for. We still got a little ways to go, right? Like I'm really not gonna be as confident as I could be until we actually do see a bigger shift in character, right? Like an actual one, right? Like if we see a break of this level right here, this 0.98, then I'm gonna be super confident in the fact that we're gonna continue going higher, right? But again, I would really need to see this break up here before I'm super confident in that. Okay, so definitely a few things we gotta keep our eyes on, guys, for euro, and yeah, we'll just deal with it as as the time comes, right? And just see what the market ends up giving us. All right, again, I'm already risk free, and we'll see what happens. All right, let's see. So we are pushing back into this level, right? One thing that I like to do as well, guys, right, especially when I'm looking for potential entries, right, and I'm on the smaller time frames, right, because I'm really analyzing key levels, right. I'm always looking at indicators like MACD is my personal go-to, right, but I'm using the MACD, guys, to really just help me identify momentum behind these pushes, right? Because right now we're looking at this. I mean, look at this Euro USD right now, right? This is a 1 minute candle, right? But look at how it's pushing right now, right? We are starting to see a lot from the candles perspective. It looks like it's a lot of momentum. But when we actually compare that to the indicator, right, is the indicator aligning with that momentum, or is there some type of a divergence? Okay, these are things that I like to read and analyze, guys, when I'm looking at these markets to see if it is a good opportunity to actually go ahead and get involved. And right now, I mean, with this candlestick, we are starting to see, guys, the selling pressure actually start to pick up, right? So when we are starting to notice this selling pressure pick up, which I think I just got hit out at break even. Yep, I just got hit out at break even, right? But again, comparing the momentum, right, the momentum behind the candlesticks around key levels is very crucial to understanding, guys, whether it is time to get in or not. Okay, so for me, again, I did just get stopped out at break even for this trade. Right, I had my entry down here. All right, but now it's just all about really just continuing to manage, or react to how these candlesticks are playing, especially when we're looking at it from such a smaller time frame. All right, so right now I'm gonna be sitting on the sidelines. Right, I want to make sure that we have some type of clues, or right, or some type of evidence that we are gonna get ready to rebound, guys. So again, I'm on the sidelines right now. Again, I don't have no entries open right now, right? But what I am gonna do is continue to monitor this setup, right? Continue to monitor what Euro USD is doing. Right now, we have a lot of volume behind this push. I don't want to try to look for buys, right, with this type of volume, because it's not giving us that evidence that momentum is starting to shift. Okay, so right now I'm on the sidelines. I'm chilling. I'm watching. I remember what I told you guys as well. If we do end up running these lows, and I mean, we're probably just going to continue selling off, right? So if we end up breaking structure to the low now, right? Because again, you see, we have to be able to read and adjust to these markets, right? Especially when you're trying to read price action and things like that, right? So what I'm looking at now, guys, right, is again, I see that we have a lot of selling pressure here for the for the euro, at least on the 1 minute time frame. Right, so what can we do now? How can we rebound, right? How can we get involved? Well, a couple things. If we end up running these lows, then I think we're probably going to continue selling off. That's for one, right? But if we're able to see price rebound back above, say, this level of structure, then that can give us an opportunity to go ahead and get involved as well. All right, so we're gonna be patient. We're gonna see what the market gives us, guys, overall, and yeah, we'll see what goes on overall. Right, but in the meantime, guys, give me 1 second. We're gonna go ahead and just watch this, see what the market ends up doing here for Euro USD, and we'll be back in a few seconds to see if there's anything that the market can give us. But as of right now, this thing is definitely looking like it wants to actually go ahead and continue rolling over to the downside. So we'll just be patient and see if there's anything that can happen. Right, again, we do have New York Stock Exchange opening in about 30 minutes, so we'll be able to take advantage of that as well, guys. But in the meantime, in between time, let's go ahead and just vibe out and see what the market can realistically give us overall. All right, so let's go ahead and just vibe out, guys. Our family, I'm back. Just had to take a little quick break to make sure I check on my kids. They're all good. They're surviving. But let's see what the market has been doing, right? So we're starting to see the dollar itself start to gain some strength again, guys. And this makes a little bit more sense based off the data that actually came out. What's for the dollar gain strength? Because obviously higher unemployment is not good for the economy. That's going to just add to the fear, uncertainty, and doubt of these markets. So very interesting move. Very interesting to see exactly how this thing ends up continuing for sure. All right, but let's see what we got here. Let me go ahead and turn my music back on real quick. All right, let's see. You move to break even once you're in profit and price respect the key level of structure. Yep. Action is looking. It looks like this could be a very interesting opportunity right here. Alright, so I like this, guys. I'm liking the 17-16 level. Just the way the market is acting right now, guys, right? This thing looks like the dollar might really just rebound. Right now, again, this level is going to be very, very important for us to monitor, that 111.7 level. If we're able to clear that, then yeah, we're probably going to end up going back into that bullish bias, guys, for the dollar as a whole. Let's see, can't hear me over the music. Let me turn the music down a little bit. Right. So like I was saying, this is very interesting. Right. Based off the data release, based off the fact, guys, that we again initial jobless case ticked up. This is looked at as negative, right, for the economy. Negative for sentiment based on what's happening, right? But that just means that the dollar should gain strength, right? Because if it's negative for the economy, right, then that's going to be positive for the currency, right? And we're starting to see that literally occur with the dollar itself rebounding, right? The initial release actually seen dollar weakness, but we completely rebounded from that. And now, just based off that, guys, I'm leaning towards that possibly really being the start of this continuation higher, right? So I'm gonna be keeping my eyes on that for sure to see exactly how this ends up playing out. But I don't know. It's looking like this dollar might really want to go ahead and get back into the swing of things, right? Especially, I mean, with the data, it makes sense for that to happen, right? So that's what I'm gonna be keeping my eyes on, keep my focus on, to see what that goes. But overall, I do think that we have a potential opportunity here for gold, right? I actually like this opportunity here for gold, guys, right? So I'm gonna be keeping my eyes on this, right? If we're able to come back up to the 1716 level, then I do like the opportunity to go ahead and go short on this, right? We can go possibly target, down to these levels of structure over here, right around that 1706, 1705 level. I think that is a very attractive opportunity, right? Stop loss, if you wanted to be more safe, you could have the stop loss all the way above the highs right here, above this wick, and that's giving us a 2.8 to 1 risk to reward, right? Almost a 3 to 1 risk to reward, which is not bad. I just need at the minimum a 2 to 1 risk to reward, right? So we do have a 2.88 to 1 risk to reward. So if we're risking 1%, we're going for almost 3%. If we're risking 2%, we're going for almost 6%, just under 6%, so on and so forth, right? But it doesn't look bad, right? I do like this, guys. I don't know. It's just the way price action is starting to form. I think this is a very, very attractive opportunity, a high probability opportunity here to actually go ahead and short gold back down to these lows, guys. So I'm gonna go ahead and keep my eyes on this one. This is probably gonna be one of my focuses for sure going into actually just into today and seeing what happens right now. As for Euro USD, again, we did see a very interesting play here, right? Where initial news release, we had this initial strength for the euro, but got completely erased, right? So what I would be looking for now, guys, is just more continuations, right? If we're able to see market pull back up whenever it happens, right, that can be an opportunity to go ahead and get involved, right? Just to stick with what the current momentum seems like is what's going to be. All right, so that's going to be my plays going into today, and just throughout this New York session. Again, I have no open trades right now. I took a stop loss earlier on Euro USD, and I just got stopped out at break even on Euro USD again. Both buy attempts, right? Come on, Nadia. They were both buy attempts, but now just looking at what the market has done, now I'm going to be flipping my bias and saying, you know what? I don't want to look for the buys just yet. We might actually be more so able to take the sells just because the data itself is aligning there, right? And my apologies, guys. I got the little gremlin in my. You guys want to see what I'm dealing with right now? This is what I'm dealing with right now. Her. Right? This is what I'm dealing with right now. This little gremlin. Right? So I apologize if you guys hear a baby. Right? She is absolutely driving me insane. But this is always at this time of the day happens because wifey brings the other kids to school, and I gotta watch the little booger. Right, so this is what I'm dealing with. So if you guys hear any type of growling, it's her. Right, it's her. All right, so but yeah, that's where we're at, guys. Very interesting play here. I do want to see gold come back up to the 1716, and I think there's a really good opportunity, guys, for us to go ahead and go short on. Right, so just to really put things in perspective. I'm only going to be risking 1% because I did take 2 loss. Well, technically I only took 1 loss, right? But that 1 loss was for 2%. So I'm only going to be risking 1% here on this opportunity, right? 1% risk, which is going to give us the ability to go for almost 3% gains. Okay, so 1% risk for just under 3% gains. All right, so it's not a bad play. It's not the best risk to reward that we've been able to get, but it's also not the. I mean, it's doable, right? It is doable. So doesn't look bad though, right? Just under 3%. So we'll see how this goes, guys. If we are able to see price pull back up, then that'll be lit. Yeah. Let's see. A beautiful gift. I appreciate y'all. She's such a cute gremlin, right? Let's see. She's gonna be talking charts just now. That's probably what she's talking about, really. Try to tell me what to take advantage of. All right, let's go take a look at oil. See what's going on with oil here. See what we can do. Let's see. Let's see. All right, so for oil, my plan is still the same for oil, right? I think that just because of the decisions that has happened with oil over the past few days, I think that the demand for oil is just gonna really only continue to pick up overall. But before we even do start to see that happen, yeah, and nobody want to hear you yelling, right? So what we can look for, I think that the demand for oil is only going to continue to increase. So, all right, you know what? Give me 1 second, guys. Let me go ahead and put her down real quick because now she's doing too much talking. All right, we back. We back. All right, so like I was saying with oil, I think that the demand for oil is only going to continue to increase personally, especially with OPEC's decision to be cutting 2 million barrels of production. I mean, they're literally cutting production, guys, by 2 million barrels a day, right? So the supply of oil is only going to be more limited and limited, right? So, I mean, basic supply and demand, as long as the demand stays the same, but the supply starts to get limited, that's going to cause the value of that asset commodity to increase, right? So I think oil, there is a good chance for this thing to actually go ahead and continue to increase. Now, where can we actually look for opportunities from, right? Well, where was the last time that we actually notice buying pressure for oil? Down here around this 86 level, right? 86.4, 86.5, right? So if we can see price make its way down to this 86.4, 86.5 level, then that can be an opportunity for us to go ahead and look for, you know, another move higher here on oil per se, right? But I think that the demand of oil is only going to continue to increase. So, you know, I'm bullish on oil personally speaking. All right, so that's something we can look for. You know, again, if we're able to come down here, 86.4, 86.5, then that could be a nice opportunity to go ahead and go higher. All right, let's see what else we got here. She's going to be talking charts. Yeah, programming her mind to be a beast, right? And that's the crazy thing, right? I love doing that too, right? Which is why I don't mind my kids being in the rooms, because I do understand the power of the subconscious mind, right? And yeah, you know, my kids have been literally hearing me speak about these charts and these markets for so damn long. They're going to be very fluent in this stuff as well too, right? Which is pretty dope. Let's see. So when I lose the first entry, how much I'm risking should be lower? Anyone can answer, right? So that's a good question, right? So it really depends on what your rules are, right? So my rules, guys, for risk management is I do not risk more than 2% for any given trade, but I also do not risk more than 5% in any given day. Okay, so 2% max per trade, 5% max per day. Okay, so if you would take an initial loss, right, and you take that initial loss, and let's say for me, I lose 2% my first trade, right? Which, matter of fact, I'll just use the examples of Euro USD, right? Because this is exactly what happened with Euro USD, which is why I'm only taking a 1% entry on gold, right? right? So looking at Euro USD, guys, I took two trades, two attempts at buy setups over the past, 10 hours or so, right? My first buy attempt, I absolutely got clapped on, right? So I ended up losing around 2% on that trade. My second buy attempt, I ended up going break even, right? Getting stopped out at break even. So let's just, completely just forget about that one. So overall, right now, I am technically down 2% for the day, right? So with this new trade idea, gold, I'm risking 1%. If I lose on this one, hypothetically speaking, right now, I would have lost 3% in total for the day, which means I only have 2% left that I can risk, right, to stay within my perimeters, right, to stay within my rules. Now, again, you can either split up that 2% for one trade, two trades, three trades. That's totally up to you, right? But it's all about figuring out exactly how much you're willing to lose per trade and then per day, and then just making your ideas fit inside of those perimeters, okay? That's really what it comes down to. All right, so yeah. All right, so let's see what we got here, guys. We are starting to see this thing push back up. Now, again, I am very, very interested in looking for this play here. All right, I'm only risking 1%, so again, it is what it is on what happens. But yeah, I'm watching this, right? We're gonna be watching this guy, see what happens, see if we can get up there. If we can get up there, then that would be absolutely amazing, right? So something like this, right? Come up to here, give us some opportunities, give us a change of character, break of structure, and then go ahead and see this thing, go ahead and rebound back to the downside, right? That's my opinion, right? That's what I would like to see. If I'm wrong, then it is what it is, right? I'll probably end up calling it a day if I am wrong, right? And then I'll just go ahead and come back tomorrow, right? Because that's one of the most important things, guys, of trading, right? Is capital preservation, right? We're not gonna win every single trade, right? We're not gonna win every single day, right? We're not gonna win every single battle, but we can absolutely win the war, right? We have to have that thought process, guys, 100% when we are doing this. All right, so let's see what we are, guys. We are starting to push up into this level. Let's see what we got here. Let me go ahead and get my stuff set up. So let me get my stuff set up. All right. Let's see. Yeah, man. I mean, if it comes back up to the 17-16, guys, I'm probably gonna be taking that. All right, so come up, come on. Stops above the highs, risking 1%. All right, come back up, 17-16, 17-16. Come on, that's my sweet spot. 17-16, 17-16. That's my sweet spot. Come on. No. I said 17-16, buddy. Right, let's see. Seventeen, 16. We're gonna reach 17-16. Let's see. Your plan should detail how much you plan to risk on a day. Yeah, exactly, O'Neal. Shout out to you. Right, that's 100% true. All right, let's see. Do not leave without us. Do not leave without us. Huh. Yeah. Huh. Yeah. Do not live without us. All right. So we also do have, guys, it is 9:30, right? It is 9:30 as well. Let's see how the indices are actually opening up. All right. So indices did give us an initial move higher. Again, guys, and this is just my opinion, right? Based off of the data, indices technically should lose value, right? Based off the data. Okay, if we're gonna try to compare this news release, initial jobless claims, and utilize that as something like sentiment, then we should see this thing roll over. The only reason we won't see it roll over is if this news release was already priced in, which is very possible as well, right? A lot of these data, guys, a lot of these news releases are typically priced into the markets already. But if we do have something like a major miss in projections, right, a major beat in projections, then that can also still absolutely influence as well, right? So again, interesting times here. SPX, NAS looks pretty interesting as well. I don't know. I think there is a good chance for this stuff to actually rebound and go lower. All right, that's just my opinion. That's what I'm leaning towards, right? So for NAS, maybe looking at something like this could be pretty juicy. All right, again, 1% risk, guys, right? I'm not risking no more, right? So if you're risking more than 1%, I mean, that's on you, right? But any trade that I take today for the rest of the day is going to be only 1%. All right, so we got gold. Gold is pushing back up. Let's get it. Let's see what we can do here for gold. 1716. 1716 is my sweet spizzy. Let's see. All right. Let's see what happens. Let's see how this plays out. Let's see what the market ends up doing. Okay. Oh man. I literally had only like 3-4 hours of sleep last night, family. So I'm definitely I definitely need that coffee that my wife is about to bring me. That's for damn sure. All right, that's for damn sure. Yeah. Mm, 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 mm. 'em. Mm, mm, mm. Let's see. 1716. Let's get it. Come on, get it there. Get up there. All right. 1%. 1% risk activated. 1%. 1% risk activated. 1%. 1% risk activated. Let's see what happens, family. Let's see what happens, right? Again, I'm only risking 1%. So we're gonna go ahead and see what happens, and we'll deal with the outcome of whatever actually happens. right? Again, full transparency. I took an L earlier on Euro USD, and then I got stopped out at break even on another Euro USD attempt. So now we're here looking at gold and just playing off of price action, right? And also trying to play off of news to see if we can get some momentum based off this news. That's why we're pretty much looking for this opportunity to go to the downside, right? Let's see what the Nasdaq is doing. Okay, so indices are flying up higher as well. Again, I don't know. For some reason, guys, like even though we're flying, I think this is going to be short-lived. I could be wrong, though, obviously, all right? I'm not in a position on Nas. I'm not in a position on any indice. But I would not be surprised if this is literally short-lived, all right? Like, I would not be surprised if we actually end up finishing the end of New York session, we're finishing so much more lower, right? But again, I'm not in it, right? I'm not in it. The only thing I'm looking at and I'm currently in now is this gold, right? Is the only thing that I'm currently in right now is gold, right? Again, it did reach that 1716 level, right? My 1% trade has been activated, so now we just gotta let it play out, right? So there's my focus right here, guys. Is this gold? Everything else is just, it is what it is, right? But yeah, I do think there's a really good chance though. I'm still liking this play here. All right, I'm still liking this play here, guys, on gold. All right, let's see another great day to elevate 100%, right? 100%. Question, Abel, what's the longest break you've taken after market uncertainty and consistent losses, and what did you do during the break? Right, that's a great question, by the way. Right, guys, there's been periods of time where I literally took weeks off, right, even a month off, right, especially in the beginning stages of the journey, right. I had to take a bunch of time off just to collect my thoughts, right. And the crazy thing is, like, my biggest trading weeks, my biggest trading days, right, where I've had some insane numbers, they all have come after I've taken breaks, right, after I took some time away from the markets, right, after I was able to collect my thoughts, right. And that's very, very important for us to understand, right. So yeah, if you're going through a losing streak, right, take some time off, right? Go ahead and do something else, right, other than charts. Because I know a lot of you guys are just as invested as I was when I started, right? Where literally my life revolved around this and this only, right? But yeah, when your life is revolved around this and this only, you still do got to take some time away from the charts to allow your thoughts to collect, right? To really just get your emotions back in check, right? So very, very important, guys, for us to understand that we do have to make sure to take some time off if needed, right? If we have to, take some time off, right? If you have to collect your thoughts, take some time off, right? Because more times than not, you're gonna actually come back and see the markets a lot more clear, right? So I've taken numerous breaks throughout my journey, all right. Some of them much longer than others, obviously, weeks, even a month off at a time. But that was definitely early on in my journey. But yeah, it definitely helped me out tremendously, right? Tremendously helped me out. All right, so let's see what we got here. That was a great question, though, by the way, Lou. It really was, right? And what did I do during my break? I didn't do anything. I didn't look at the markets. I spent time with my family, right? I did things that had nothing to do with the markets, had nothing to do with the charts, right? That's what I did. Let's see. Been a winning week so far. Okay, let's get it. I love that. We in here. What made you want to teach Forex, right? That's a good question, right, as well. I don't know, right? Be honest with you, I really don't know. I just more so because I was early in the space and I was constantly getting pressured to teach. I think that's what really made me want to do this, because you got to think about it, guys. I started trading back in 2015, right? We're actually coming on my 8-year anniversary in October, right? So, yeah. Wait, matter of fact, we're in October right now, right? So at the end of the month, guys, is going to be my 8-year anniversary from the moment I started trading Forex, right? Now, it's not the moment I started taking it seriously, right? Because those are completely different days, right? The moment you get started and the moment you take it serious are completely different time frames, right? So I started trading 8 years ago now this year, right? Or this month. But because I was so technically, quote unquote, early into the space, right? Into the social media space of Forex, and I was always promoting it, I've literally gotten numerous of messages, right? And people just want to learn. And that's what ended up leading into me creating my first course back in 2017, I would say 2017. And that's when I really started to get some consistency down pat, right after around 2 years, right? So that's what really got me into it, and I just stuck with it, right? It went from me, having my own platform, my own course back in 2017 to then me eventually becoming an educator for the largest trading platform in the world, right? IML, no matter what your thoughts and opinions are about it, right? I went from my academy. I put my course on the back burner so I can go ahead and be an educator for that platform. And then I was an educator for that platform for the past 4.5 years until most recently when I actually decided to retire from that platform in the beginning of this year, right? And now here we are today on YouTube, providing y'all with still massive value, right? So it's just one of those things that I just enjoy, right? I enjoyed, right? I seen that there was a need in the marketplace. I had a lot more knowledge than most people, and I just capitalized off it, right? Like, great thing is, like, my first course, guys, back in 2017, it was probably the most basic course in the entire world, right? But back then, anything that was related to forex was crazy, right? Because nobody really knew about it, right? So although my course was very basic, it still exposed. I think I had almost 400 students, right, within my first 6 months, which was nuts, right? Which was nuts, right? But it also exposed them to what was possible, right? And now, moving forward, 8 years later, or 6 years later from when I first created that course, I literally have thousands of students across the world, right? So it's absolutely crazy, the journey and how it really works out. All right, but let's go ahead and get back to gold, guys. We are actually starting to move. Let's get it. Depending on where your entry is, you should be around 25 to 30 pips in profit right now for gold. I like it. I'm currently in around 20 pips of profit right now, right? Because we are starting to push back up. But we are in profit, right? We are in profit right now, so we just got to let this thing play out, guys, right? Just because we're in profit right now doesn't really necessarily mean it's a full win, right? I'm not going to really consider this a win until we're able to go break even, right? Even that's not a win, right? But I want to see the market go ahead and close below these levels, right? If we're able to really get back down to these lows, guys, that's when I'm going to be moving my stops to break even. I mean, if you wanted to, you could move it now if you wanted to, just to be safe. But for me, I'm about to move it right now because we're already pushing, right? So I'm going break even on this trade, family, right? I'm going break even on this position. I think we're up around 50, 60 pips at this point. Around 40 pips at this point, right? So we're up around 40 pips, guys. So go break even on this position, right? I am now officially break even. Hopefully this thing can now just continue for us, right? Hopefully this thing can now go ahead and just do what it does and just, pay us out some, right? So shout out to all you guys that are in this trade with me. I know a few of you guys rocking with me actually decided to jump in, right? So please, if you're listening to my voice and you're in this trade, go ahead and just roll your stops to break even. And hopefully this momentum can now go ahead and follow through, right? So now that this is looking like this, guys, let's see what NAS is doing, right? So NAS is now, again, starting to rebound as well, right? Again, I think this is something that's going to absolutely, and it's my opinion, guys, based off of the data, right? I'm using this data as a way to really help me figure out what sentiment could be for today. Okay, and that's why we're seeing this starting to turn around, right? I told you guys there's a good chance that I'm not buying this momentum, right? Because the data states that this should get weak, right? So that's why we took that, and that's also a reason why we're looking at gold, right? So you took your NAS, you took the NAS setup, right? Yeah, I mean, NAS was looking good, right? It really was. I just wasn't going to take it because I already took a couple L's today, right? I already took that L on Euro USD, and I was already in gold, so, I wasn't going to go ahead and try to ride it out, right? But overall, guys, we are doing really, really good right now. We took this thing in real time, right? We're up around 45 pips, depending on where you actually got your entry at. If you entered right at that 17-16 like I did, then you're up around 30-40 pips. If you were able to even get a higher entry around that 17-17, then you're even doing better, right? But let's see, right? We got the Profit Society team over here, guys, doing phenomenal things. And this is exactly, guys, what we want to give to y'all, right? We want to be able to trade live with you guys in real time, just like this, right? Going through the entire process, through the entire swing of things. Like, I mean, you guys are literally seeing this thing play out in real time. Now, how many of you guys think that this is extremely, extremely valuable, right? Like, coming to the markets, looking at the news first, right? Looking at the data first, and then creating a bias based off of that data, right? Is this something valuable to you guys, right? Because that's exactly what we are going to continue doing with y'all, right? And it's not just myself, but again, I do have a powerful team of traders, guys, that are all going to continuously doing this as well. All right, so yeah, big shout out to y'all, because all of y'all that's rocking with us here in the Profit Society family, you guys are absolutely going to really, really, really become savages, right? Because you're going to able to see exactly what our thought process is, why we're looking at the markets the way that we are, and how we're absolutely going ahead and take advantage of this stuff, right? Like in real time, No fluff, no BS, right? This is all real-time trading. So yeah, so hopefully, guys, I think there's a good chance for us to roll over. We did get that nice, beautiful reaction that we were looking for at that 17.16. So now we just got to go ahead and do our things, right? But again, for me, I am break even on this. Let me go ahead and roll my stops. I am break even. One thing that you could do as well, guys, this is something I typically like to do when I go break even on a trade. I like to close partial profits, right? Whether it's 20%, 50%, 70%, right? I just like to close partial profits so that at least I'm getting something, right? Because what happens now if the market decides to pull back up, right? And we get stopped out of break even. Well, yeah, we didn't lose, right? And we still, still a decent setup, right? But we didn't make no money neither, right? So what you can do is whenever you do decide to roll stops to break even, also close something, right? Even 20%, right? Something, right? Pay yourself, right? It's very important to get in the habit of paying yourself, guys, for sure, right? So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and close partial of my profit since we are here more so at the midway point. I'm personally going to be closing around 30%, right? And then I'm just going to let the remainder actually run, right? So let me go ahead and just lower this really, really quickly. Let's see. Let me go ahead. Let's see. Let's see. All right, so I did end up closing partial position. So now we just let the rest ride out. Right. So now this is a winning setup, guys. So big shout out to all y'all, that's been rocking with us, that's been following this. Because yeah, we're doing really good. Right now we're break even. We can't lose. We ended up closing some partials, so we're in the profit. So this is a winning trade right here. Right. This is an absolute winning trade. All right, EU. Right. EU is dropping. Right. And remember what I told you guys right earlier. Based on how this was playing out, right? If we ended up breaking these lows, then we're gonna just continue, and that's exactly what's happening, right? And again, I like to repeat myself, so I want to make sure that you guys are aware, right, how transparent we are here, right? I ended up taking some losses here, right, on Euro USD, trying to find the buy opportunity, and I lost around 2%. It is what it is, right? Because this gold is now making up for that, right? But yeah, that was expected. I did say that Euro USD was probably going to continue running to the downside for sure. All right, let's go back to these indices. NAS, we are starting to see NAS rebound, but we did get a pretty nice reaction off of these highs over here. So, I mean, there's still a good chance for this thing to absolutely roll over for sure. Right, for sure, guys. But overall, my focus is on gold. Right, my focus is on gold to see if we're able to go ahead and really run these lows. There is a chance for this market to, possibly pull back a little bit, right? But I think we're really good, guys, to see this, thing come ahead and reach towards take profit for sure, right? I think there's a really good chance for that to happen, right? I really do think that, right? So we're gonna be playing this and seeing what happens, right? You never know, right? Looking at 17.13, 17.14, it could even give you another re-entry if you're not in it. Just throwing that out there. Right, just throwing that out there. Let's see. We're literally going to be the biggest trading society. I promise you. I guarantee you we are. All right, we're going to be the best. We're going to be the biggest. Right, and it's because, again, we're not giving out fluff. Right, like we're really giving you guys real, actual information. And the thing that's going to separate us, guys, is our understanding of fundamentals. Right, our understanding of data. Right, there's not that many communities out there, guys, that truly understand every single aspect of trading. Right, every other community out there is just strictly talking about technical analysis, right? And the reality is, guys, trading solely off of technical analysis is very hard to do, right? So you have to give yourself a little bit more information, right? Give yourself a little bit better of the edge in the market by understanding exactly what's happening and how these markets can move, right? So that's what we're doing to separate ourselves, right? We're gonna talk about the fundamentals because we understand it, right? We're gonna talk about sentiment, right, around the data because we understand it. Right, we're gonna talk about how interest rates are gonna influence, right, asset prices. Right, we're gonna talk about, how inflation, right, is gonna change, the game over here. Right, we're gonna talk about, how a recession can affect these currencies. Right, how a Great Depression can do these things. Right, we're gonna talk about how to really understand, interest rate correlations or interest rate differentials on, in a way to determine currency strength. Right, we're gonna talk about the advanced things, that most other traders or communities don't talk about because they have no idea about it. That's going to be us, right? We're going to be the ones talking about that because we're very, very, very confident in our ability to teach y'all. And we're very confident in our ability to also give y'all the correct information that's really going to take y'all to the next level, right? They say that 5 to 10% of traders are profitable in communities. Nah. This community right here, family, that we're building, we want at the very least 60 to 70% people in the community profitable. And I know that's asking for a lot, but again, when you have all the correct information, all the correct data that we're giving y'all, there's no reason why we do not have a high percentage in terms of students that are actually profitable, because we're giving you guys everything, right? The reason why so many people lose is because they're trading with, limited access to information. Not us. We're giving you out the real, right? We're giving y'all real value, right? Real value, real value, right? Remember what I say, right? My motto, family, has been this for a while, right? My motto for this movement here, the Prophet Society, is that our free content that we're providing here on YouTube, our free content that we provide you guys on social media and Telegram, the free content is far better than everybody else's paid content. And I'll put anything on that, right? And I guarantee that. Right? That the free content we're giving y'all is going to be better than everybody else's paid content. So imagine the paid content when we actually do release it. It's going to be next level. Right? Absolutely next level. Right? But overall, guys, we're doing really, really good. Big shout out to you guys for being here today. And yeah. Let's see. What do you think about a long-term long on oil, right? I actually like that. I actually spoke about this earlier, Veronica. I do like that, right? I am a big fan of, higher pricing on oil just because, again, what's happening in the world, right? Again, and this is the big difference, guys. When I'm looking at, anything, I'm not just going to look at it from a technical perspective. Again, we're the difference makers here, right? We're the game changers here in this space, right? So we're going to give you guys, again, the real news behind this stuff, right? So, again, for oil, a reason why I believe we could be very bullish for oil is because, again, we do have a lot of data that just came out over the past day. Right, OPEC. I mean, you can literally go right to Google, right? Type in OPEC, right? Which OPEC itself, guys, is an organization. I mean, it says it right here, right? But OPEC literally made a decision, right, over the past couple days, right, to actually go ahead and cut oil production by 2 million barrels per day. Okay, really think about this, right? Very simple common sense, right? OPEC cuts oil production by 2 million barrels per day. Right? What should we expect to happen for oil just based off this information? Right? Well, again, guys, if the demand, let's say the demand for oil is staying the same, right? From last week to today. But now the supply of oil is starting to decrease, right? Because now they're cutting supply, right? They're cutting the production of oil, which is going to cut the supply of oil, or readily available oil. So if the demand stays the same, but the supply is now starting to shrink, that is what causes the price of that asset or that commodity to increase. Right? So just based off of this, I'm very bullish oil. But now let's go ahead and also bring in the technicals now, right? Now that we understand the fundamental aspect of why something can happen, let's go ahead and look at the technicals now, right? So from a technical perspective now, right, where could we realistically look to enter oil? Right? Well, I want to enter oil back where we had evidence of the demand that truly picked up, or where the demand actually picked back up. Right? So I want to see oil come back down to these levels around this 86.5, right? Because this is where we see smart money started to buy oil once again. And we know that because look at how bullish this was. So if we can see price come back down into there, then that will give us an amazing opportunity, guys, to go ahead and look for some longs on oil. Right? Is this making sense, family? Drop some threes in the chat if this is making sense, right? If this is some game changer information, right, actually giving you guys the real news, the real fundamentals, and then the technicals after, if this is giving y'all some value, family, drop some sevens in the chat. All right, because this is what I will be looking for oil, right? Something like this, 100%. Right, come down to here, come down into this area of demand, and then from that demand zone, we go ahead and we start to rebound. Again, real value, real sauce given by real traders that have been doing this for a little while now. Right? And that's our commitment to y'all, is to give you guys this next level information, this next level sauce, so that you guys can absolutely go ahead and continue to take things to the next level. Been here since IML. Looking forward to the Prophet Society platform. Let's go, Roy. Let's go. I love it, right? I absolutely love it, right? Because again, that platform is absolutely next level. We are pretty much trying to create a social media platform specifically for traders, right? Specifically for the traders, investors, and things of that nature, right? And that's exactly what the Profit Society is, right? It's all about just giving you guys a place where traders can come together and just communicate, interact. Right now, again, that's going to be the free part, the free version of that, right? We have a free aspect, guys, of the platform, which again is strictly about you guys, interacting with other traders, right? So you're going to be able to create your own profile, upload your own profile picture, have your own banner and all that. Just it literally is like we literally duplicated Facebook, right? Like we literally created another Facebook. It literally looks exactly like Facebook for traders, right? So for traders, right? So yeah, we're changing the game for that. Now again, we do have the free version, right? We're gonna have the free section for everybody that's in the world because my goal, right? My goal is to get 100,000 students utilizing that social media platform, right? 100,000 active traders all communicating inside of the social media platform, right? Now, out of that 100,000, there's gonna be maybe 10 to 20% of y'all that want to take your trading up to the next level, right? That 10 to 20% of y'all that actually want that hands-on help, that hands-on guidance, that real mentorship, right? So that's why we also do have paid groups and live trading sessions, live education as well for anybody that did want to invest into a more premium experience, right? So, it's the best of both worlds, though, right? Best of both worlds. If you want to just come in and just interact with, people, be a part of the community, then fine. Go ahead and create your profile and, just talk your stuff, right? But if you did want that hands-on help, that hands-on guidance, that premium experience, it is going to come at a fee, right? It is going to come at a fee, but you'll get added into the premium Profit Society group and all that good stuff, right? So yeah, it's gonna be very interesting, and very very interesting though to see how we're gonna be able to really scale this thing up, right? Because my goal is 10,000 people inside of the community by this time next year, and the only way we can do that is with your guys' help as well, right? So yeah. All right, let's go take a look at gold, see what's gold doing. Let's see. So gold, all right, cool. Gold is starting to finally drop back down again. Look at this, guys. We can't make this stuff up, right? I said at that 1713 level, we could look for possible re-entries. I didn't take a re-entry personally, but it is looking good, right? I still think there's a good chance for us to go ahead and roll over. So, yeah, we'll ride that out. Yeah, go ahead and smash the like button, guys, if you guys have not smashed it just yet. Right, go ahead and smash the like button if you guys have not smashed it just yet. Right, it definitely helps us out tremendously, more than you might even think, right? Because it just tells YouTube that you guys are liking the content, right? And if you guys are liking the content, then YouTube is going to spread it out to a lot more people that are interested in trading. All right, so big shout out to every single one of y'all that do end up liking the video as well. I appreciate y'all, and I give you my word, we're going to keep on bringing you guys massive value. All right, but besides that, guys, overall, we're going to let this thing ride out. I got to go ahead and be a father. I got to go ahead and watch my daughter, see what the hell she's doing before she's getting into things, right? But I hope you guys were able to really gain some value, guys, from today's session. Again, we literally just analyzed this entire thing in real time, live in person, took the trade live in person, right? So if you guys are jumping on either late or anything, just go ahead and rewatch this, right? Rewatch this entire stream so you guys can see the thought process, see exactly why we took the trade, where we were taking it, and all that good stuff, just so you guys can really get familiarized with it all. Right, but besides that, I love you guys. I appreciate y'all. I'll be in the Telegrams talking my stuff, and I will be back again tonight. Right, we are back tonight, guys, for Asian session, because like I said, we're doing 2-a-days. Right, we are doing 2-a-days for y'all. Right, so we will be back tonight, 10 p.m. Eastern, with Asian session, and I will give you guys an update as to what happened here, and we'll be able to look for some more opportunities as well. All right, family, I love you guys. I appreciate y'all, and I'll talk to y'all later. Let's get it.